A lot of women come to me, a lot, and I've had conversations with them throughout social media, and I can hear the frustration in their voices, and they're saying, I am so tired of feeling like I have to jump through hoops just to get a commitment, just to do anything, get any type of forward movement with men, much less a proposal for marriage. It seems so out of their arm's reach. It seems like it will never happen. It seems like men have increased the barrier of entry to marriage. Because you know what they say, women control access to intimacy and men control access to marriage. And a lot of women understand that to be true. And they're like, okay, enough's enough. Like, this is just way too much. It's just too much. And they're jumping through hoops, and they're kind of frustrated. They're like, what's going on here? And, does he want me or not? So let me free you right now. A wife is not a contestant for a game show. She's not a contestant for Survivor or all of these, um, jump through all of these hoops and see who makes it to the end, and that's who you marry. That's not who you are, and that's not what you have to be. Not wives. Courting is not a talent show. It's not who can sing the best, who can dance the best, who looks the best, who can cook the best, who can clean the best. That's not what courtship is. So if you feel like you've been auditioning for months or years, you're not being courted, sweetie. So let me just free you right there. You're not being courted. Your gut is right. Everything's off. You're being kept available. That's it. The man you're with wants you available. That's it. There's no forward movement. Your gut is right. And that's what's going on. Now, how does a man evaluate? Yes, he does. Men evaluate, they do that. A wise man is going to vet as well. But a serious man doesn't keep you in tryouts indefinitely. So, let's talk about what this looks like and why you need to stop auditioning for a ring today. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Inner Beauty TV. I am your host, Nicole Michelle, founder and feminine advisor for the Inner Beauty movement. We're all about helping women reconnect with their power, their core, their essence, while simplifying the pathway to marriage. So, if that sounds like something you would be interested in, that sounds like your tribe, definitely give us a like, a follow, a subscribe. We'd love to have you here. And for those of you in my Future Wives Club, as I say all the time, I'd love to be your mentor in love, like Naomi guided Ruth. That's our little area, and I'm Naomi, and you're my Ruths. And so we're sharing strategies and advice and everything you need to know to prepare you for marriage. So that's our space. So a lot of women are looking for spaces like that. So we welcome you here. So let's get into it. Shout out to my brother Phineas Henshaw. He's on time today with his $10 super chat. Who on earth are they auditioning to? Thank you so much for your super chat. Never had one audition to or for me. LOL for the tip jar. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, sir. You know what? Shout out to all of the ladies joining me live and on the rebroadcast. I appreciate you. Listen, I hear this all the time. Women are frustrated. And sometimes to the point where, Phineas, they're just dropping out. They're just saying, you know what? It's just too much. And I hear you. And while I know that every person that is preparing for marriage, whether they are man or woman, they should be preparing for marriage, but they're vetting and they are evaluating, which is what every person should do. And I think what women are saying is that it's going overboard. They're jumping through hoops. And remember, I did a live stream. I want to say 3 years back, and I said men are going to be doing humiliation rituals. I think that was about 3 years ago, 3 seasons ago, I think. And I said that men will be doing humiliation rituals. Some men are going overboard with it, especially with women. People are aging, and so now they are seeing themselves, they're seeing the market adjust itself for age and location, demographics, and so forth and so on, and they can't help themselves. They're like, oh, these women want relationships now. Let me test her and see how bad does she really want a relationship. Hey everybody, how you doing? How you doing? Let me know where you're writing from. I see some new faces. Let me know where you're writing from. So a lot of women are saying that, like, what's really going on? Why do I have to jump through hoops? So I just want you to feel free and understand, ladies, that your gut is right on time. Your gut is not letting you down. You're absolutely right with that. You feel something in your gut. You feel something is off with this. I understand. I get it. So, what's really happening here is there's a misconception, there's a misunderstanding about what's going on. All right, shout out to Dallas in the house. Some misconception about what's going on here. And there's two things that women need to understand. They need to understand the difference between evaluation and the difference between auditioning. Evaluation is he's observing your consistency, your character, your peace, your faith, and family readiness. In other words, he's evaluating you to see if you are actually what you say you are. You're talking about you want to, prepare to be a wife. You're saying you want to be a wife, but he's looking at your temperament. He's looking at how you show up. He's looking at all of these variables that we're not going to go into. Hey, shout out to Ohio in the building, Dayton. Okay. He's paying attention to all of these markers, which we go into detail so you can be prepared for that. We talk about each and every one of these in the Future Wives Club. We're trying to cover all of it so that you are so prepared. And the men are looking at these things. They're looking at your temperament, how you show up. What does family look like to you? How do you conduct yourself? All of these things. They're looking at that. Remember, I did a live stream a few weeks ago, and I talked about appearance, and a lot of people got bent out of shape about that. But hey, you know what? Like I said, my information is not for everybody. I'm talking to women that want to be wives. So, this is where we separate the wheat from the shaft here. I'm not going to, tell you something, that you want to hear. I'm going to tell you the real deal. And the real deal is wives are evaluated on a different plane, a different level, and than what is used to by a lot of women. And so when they hear things like that, immediately this defense mechanism, immediate lash out at me in comments as if that's going to hurt my feelings. I have everything I want, right? You're hurting yourself. You are feeling triggered because there's something inside you. And I can tell you right now, this place isn't for you. This place isn't for women that still want to argue about things. This space is created for women that want answers, and they want them now, and they want what they want. They want a husband. They want a family. This isn't designed for women that want to argue. So if you're listening to this comment and you feel triggered and you just can't make it through, that might be a sign of something deeper. It's letting you know this isn't your tribe, and that's okay. But this is the final stop for a lot of women that want to be married. They're done with the trauma bonding. They're done talking about relationships and 50-50 dusty men, bums. They're tired of talking about that, and they're ready to talk about how to prepare for the biggest role of their lives. They get it. They get that a lot of men out here are underachievers. They're not performing. They get it already, and they're ready to move on and prepare to be a wife. So they're done They're putting their dukes down, and they're taking that white hat off, and they're listening, and they're ready to become a wife, right? That's what this space is for. So forgive me if I just delete your comment or just ignore it altogether. If you're wanting to argue with me, this is 2026, the year of our Lord, and we're still arguing about what men want in a marriage. I cannot do it with you. I'm sorry. You do understand I've been doing this for over 10 years, and I'm addressing people that have, kind of lashed out at me in comments. And let me just tell you, let me free your mind, little bird. This is not your space. This is for women that want to be prepared for to be a wife. I've been doing this for over 10 years. And for the first 5 years, I did a whole lot of arguing. I took a whole lot of personal shots thrown at me, and I still do from time to time. I've taken a whole lot of insults and degradation. Those days are over. Winter is here for women. This is not the time to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth about what men want, how women are supposed to show. I do not have time for that. I want to talk to the women that are ready to position themselves, because my receipts are long and strong, and I don't have anything to prove to people who just want to argue. So there are lots of places out there on the web that you can go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth about men and relationships. This space won't be it. So forgive me if I just don't care like that. The marriage rate, I've told you, ladies, let me be clear. And this is all part of the lesson. I'm not deviating. This is all part of the lesson. I've told you, ladies, that 60% or more than 60% of women will never, ever, ever get a chance to say I do. That's how detriment the numbers are. If you don't believe me, go look up the marriage rates and break it down by demographics and break it down by location. However you break it down, is still give or take 75% of women will never ever get a chance to say I do. Those numbers are critical mass. That's critical right there. That's almost flatlined. So I have to super sharpen my tools and get ready to talk to the 10 to 30% of women that are ready to become wives. And I believe it's around 20 to 25%. I have to really hone in on those ladies. And so the women that are still trying to figure it out, they need therapy, they want to argue. I love you. Love you to death. I hope you figure it out. But I can't. My energy and my nervous system is not built to argue with people who have got it made up in their minds that men are the bad guy, marriage is the be all the end all, and being a mother is I just don't have time, baby. I love you. I hope you figure it out. But this isn't the space for you. Space is designed for elite women that want to prepare for marriage, period. Okay? Love you. But I just can't. Other people have time for that. I don't. All right. So evaluation. What a man that wants to be a husband, he's evaluating you. Period. He is. When you go through the dating market right here, men are not necessarily evaluating you when you're in the dating market and the dark market. Not necessarily. Who cares? I mean, it's all surface. It's all, it's sex driven, surface driven, eyeballs, who gets high, that's the dating market is designed for temporary fun. Where's my diagram? Let me look up my diagram. You remember my diagram of the dating market. The dating market and the dark market is how we show up today. It's short-lived, it's fast chemistry, it's convenience, it's fun focused, it's superficial, it's short-term. That's what dating market is. So ladies, don't get it confused. Because he's not evaluating you, that's actually a sign that he doesn't see a future with you. If he's not evaluating you, if it doesn't seem like he's trying to go below the hood, you know how a mechanic will go below the hood. If he's not trying to do that, ladies, that should tell you everything you need to know. I just had a conversation on another platform with some people, and I said, ladies, if he's pressuring you to, a guy said, I want to look up under the hood. I want to try the car out. And somebody else said, we've heard this analogy for years now where guys are like, they want to try out the car and see how it rides and so forth and so on. Talking about women. We want to try it out. We've heard that for years, decades, eons. Women have heard that. Maybe you young women haven't heard it as much. But we've heard that, yeah, we want to test drive the car before we marry it. Listen, ladies, if he's pressuring you to have sex with him before you're ready, that should tell you everything you need to know about him. It should tell you everything you need to know about where you stand with him. Because when a man is evaluating you, meaning your future husband is evaluating you, he is vetting you. He's not looking for validation through sex with you. He's already conquered that. When a man is preparing for you, your future husband, ladies, because I had somebody, I guess she thought she was going off on me. I don't know why these men aren't preparing. And I was like, preparing for what? When you're preparing for marriage, your man somewhere is preparing for you. And you don't have to worry about what all these other men are talking about and doing. You just need to prepare. Stop preparing. Stop worrying about what other men are talking about, doing around social media, doing out here. You just work on yourself and preparing, because it's in that posture, in that mindset, that's actually when you actually attract your husband. But if you're all caught up in what everybody else is saying, especially the culture, the pop culture, right? The viral videos with the foolishness. If you're caught up in that, you're not preparing. Guess what your future husband is doing? He's waiting for you to be prepared. And so, you know what he's doing? He's working through his stuff. He's not looking for sexual validation. He's not looking for approval. He's handling his business because he knows his future wife is going to want to know, what have you been doing all of this time? What's your life looking like? How are you showing up? He knows that his future wife wants to know these things. She's going to be diligent in how she vets him. So he's preparing himself for you. Don't even worry about it. And when he's evaluating a woman, there's no need to make her jump through a bunch of hoops. You know what he's doing? He's observing. He's looking at her consistency, her character. This is the one space on the social media where I emphasize character. This is why the Inner Beauty Movement, my parent company, Inner Beauty Movement, can be distracting to some people because they think that, oh, that means ugly women. Now, you've seen the wives. None of those women are ugly. But I wanted to focus on the inside. I wanted to focus on a woman's character, because I know that's how you actually keep a man. That's how you actually endear yourself to him. That's actually why he puts you on a pedestal, because your character is greater, is better than what he's seen. It's the character that he can't buy. It's the character he can't pay for. It's the character that he can't live without. The Bible says, who can find a virtuous woman, for her price is far above rubies? That's what he's looking for. Something that is hard to find. And he's preparing for it. He's looking for peace. He's looking for faith. And her family readiness. What has she been doing all these years? That's what he's looking for. So he has no need to make you jump through hoops. So let me just put you at ease right now. If he's making you jump through hoops, if you feel like you're jumping through hoops, let me put you at ease. He's probably not your guy. Well, Miss Nicole, that's not true. They do vet. Absolutely. Vetting does not require a person jumping through hoops. Remember, he is working on himself. He's working on himself, and he expects his future wife to be working on herself. Don't bring all that stuff in here with me. I'm not a therapist. I'm not your daddy. And the same thing with her. Don't bring all that stuff in here. I'm not your mama. I'm not your therapist. Don't bring all that stuff. So everybody's working on their stuff. So he's not looking for a woman to validate him. Yes, he's looking to vet you For all of those things, compatibility and all of those things, are we going to be compatible for something like marriage? Yes. He's vetting you for that. Do you qualify for the things that you say you want? You say you want to be a wife, but do you qualify for these things? I had a conversation the other day and I said a lot of women want seven figure lifestyle, seven figure marriages, but you don't have a seven figure personality. You don't have and I got this from a man who said this. They don't have seven figure personalities. They don't have seven figure understandings. They don't have seven figure skill sets. And I'm not beating up on women. I just want you to understand that while he's building that kingdom, while he's building that legacy that you want to be a part of, he wants to know, are you compatible with that? Are you going to be a good fit? That's what vetting is for. Let me go back. She said a female should never audition. He said, this is the guy, a female should never audition to be a wife if she does not want to be one. That's very misleading for men who want to be husbands. Marriage minded men want to talk to women who want to be wives. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, so everybody's vetting here. People that want to be married, those of us that are in the marriage market, we're looking for substance, lifetime. Do they want a lifetime with us? Family, legacy, responsibility. He's going to represent those things in the way he carries himself, and so will she. That's what we do over here. We prepare you for the marriage market because that's the market you're in. If you're operating from the dating sexual market and the dark market, baby, you got a journey. We'll get you ready, but some people will make it and some won't. I'm just being real out here. I'm not sugarcoating anything. I'm just telling you like a TI is. Some people will make it and some won't. Those that do the work are going to be in the marriage market where he can find you, because your husband is not in the dark market. Your husband is not in the dating section. But Miss Nicole, yes. But I've seen some people get married in the dark market. I've seen some people get married in the dating section market. Remember when we talked about the love and marriage, the control matrix? We talked about this. Yes, these are transactional marriages. This isn't anything new. Well, you're pretty, you have the look, and you have money, so let's get married. We see this all the time. All right, that's what we're talking about. So no, don't be misled by pop culture that tells you, well, you don't have to listen to that old lady on YouTube. You can do whatever you want and get a man. Yes, you can get a man, but what kind of man? Will he marry you? Will he treat you right? Will he cherish you? Probably not. Right? So let's talk about the auditioning part. Auditioning part is that gut feeling that you feel like you're overperforming, you're overgiving, you're over explaining yourself just to earn a role he hasn't even offered to you. And that is auditioning. When you know in your gut, this is going too far. And you know, the clearest sign is when it's gone 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. Now, in today's time, 2 years is stretched out because part of that is planning the wedding, part of that's engagement, courtship, and things like that. So if it's long distance, it may be elongated just a little bit. But after a year or so, there should be something going on. We should be moving forward. And I tell women how to move from dating to courtship, and we have a system that we move through that pretty swiftly. The ladies that come through my program have no problems getting into serious relationships. None. She said 2 years is too long. Absolutely. Absolutely. Here's the thing. If it's going on 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, you have your answer. But I'm not going to tell you to break up with anybody. That's not my job. I'm here to tell you that if you start to feel like you're auditioning, you probably are. If he's vetting you, that's normal. Him evaluating you is normal. I just told you what evaluation is. Now, how do I know if I'm auditioning? You know when you're auditioning when there's no moving forward. Are you moving forward? Probably auditioning. You are auditioning. If it's not moving forward, everything is required up front. You're giving so much. You're proving yourself. Well, if you do this, this means that. For example, I heard in another conversation, if she likes me, she'll have sex with me. Ladies, don't fall for this. This is the old shucky ducky quack quack. This is what men do when they are not in the marriage market. They would try to conflate the two. Well, how do I know you're not going to be the kind of wife that is just going to be telling me no all the time? So if that's not you, then you should be giving it up to me now. Don't fall for that shucky ducky quack quack. Don't fall for that, ladies. In the marriage market, and we talk about this in the Future Wives Club, so I won't say it here, but in the dating sexual market, men are going to be applying pressure. That's what they do. It's all about conquering. It's all about the short term, fast chemistry. If I can get you in out of your head, and I can get you thinking with your heart and cloud your judgment before you are ready, and I'm not really evaluating you, but if I can make you think that I'm thinking deeper than you, if I can make you think that I'm in the marriage market, I can chalk the marriage market lingo, but I'm still applying pressure to you and make you think that I'm evaluating you. And I put this on you like, well, if you really like me, if you're really not the type of woman that's going to deny her husband, then you'll prove that you're not that kind of woman with me now. That's dating sexual market, period. Well, oh, that's not true. That's not true, because she'll leave the date and go and have sex with somebody else. Ladies, don't let them gaslight you and get you trying to prove yourself. Once again, they want to put you in a posture. And I'm only talking about men in the dating sexual market. They want to put you in that conversation so you get to explaining yourself. When you are in the marriage market, you don't have to explain yourself to your future husband. You don't have to explain yourself to men that are in the marriage market. When you say, I'm waiting for marriage, or I'm committed, and I'm committed, or I want to be in a commitment, I want to court for marriage. When you say that, men understand that. They do. They're not dumb. They understand. Now, if he's in the dating market and he's parading and he's pretending like he's in the marriage market, this will actually absolutely trigger him, and the pressure will begin. Pressure means he's not the one, period. It's just not the one. I understand sometimes it gets heated and you're like, ooh, child, you get heated, you start. I understand that. That's something totally different. But when it's pressure, he's pressuring you. I'm not saying have sex. Let me clean that up. When I'm not saying have sex, I'm saying sometimes we get ahead of ourselves and we lock lips, and he didn't pressure you. You just got caught up in the moment and you had to pull yourself back. That's something different. What I'm talking about is you've made a boundary and you've made it clear, and he's still pressing you. That's pressure, and he is pretending he's in the marriage market, and he's not. Okay? That's what I want you ladies to know, because as long as he can get you trying to logically explain that you've chosen to wait, if he can get you in that conversation, he can be, oh, well, you're going to be that kind of wife to deny your husband? This, how do I know that you really like me? So when I drop you off after our date, you're not going to call up Tyrone and have him come through and knock your head through the headboard. How do I know? He's trying to get you to explain yourself. He's always getting you to explain every single boundary you set, whether it's about sex, whether it's about calling after hours, whether it's about the days that you do, whatever your boundaries are set, he's always pressing you on that. He's always challenging your boundaries. That's a sign he is not in the marriage market. He is, in fact, in the dating sexual market. And continuing with this man will be auditioning. Men who are in the dating sexual market love to audition women. This is a great position for him because he gets to sit back on his chaise lounge and relax with his legs crossed, and he gets to watch you jump through hoops to please him. Now, he's already determine whether he wants to keep you or not. He determined that long. Remember, we had this conversation a long time ago, and I said men make up their decisions rather early. Remember that live stream? And I said he's already determined what category you in, right? So he's already determined that, but he'll make you believe, well, I have to make up my mind. That's where the auditioning comes in. And you know it, you feel something is off here, and you can't really put your finger on it, so you continue because he's made you believe that he's in the marriage market and he's not. She said, "No, do not fall for it. They come with all the emotional tricks." Hey, Chrissy, yes, absolutely. She even the man says if he stays stagnant longer than a year, it's time to go. Even the men are saying that. I'm telling you, ladies, I saw it real time, and I told the ladies, this isn't a teaching platform necessarily, but what I will tell you is that when a man is looking for a wife, he wants you to say no. He wants you to have some boundaries, because guess what? He wants his wife to have boundaries. Ooh, they don't want you. You ought to know this. He wants his wife to have boundaries. He doesn't want his wife opening up her legs for the gardener, for the cable man, for Junior's teacher. He wants her to have boundaries. He does not want her not having and exercising discretion. He wants to see certain things. And men exploit that by saying, well, are you going to be the type of wife that's going to deny her husband? Wait. Aren't you're getting ahead of yourself, buddy. Slow down there, cowboy. Ladies, if you didn't catch my those of you that missed the art of flirting, I gave you some phrases to get you started. The banter with these men to kind of loosen it up a little bit, get them relaxed a little bit. You need this. You need this. You need the art of flirting without you looking like a floozy. That's an old school word. A floozy. Without you looking easy. There's a way to flirt very elegantly, and we need to return back to those days. Men love that kind of stuff. They are silly putty in your hands when you know how to flirt properly. Not flirt like somebody that's on the street corner, but you learn how to flirt like an elegant lady. They love that sophistication. A lot of women, they don't understand the art of sophistication. We've lost that. Everything is tell everything, do everything, show everything. The pop culture. And the women that know how to exercise sophistication are like the ruby. He that finds a virtuous woman. He that finds a wife findeth a good thing and obtaineth favor. He gets favor, but who can find a virtuous woman is the scripture for the day. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. That means not only is she so valuable, she's hard to find. So a man who's been preparing for a wife, you mean to tell me he's going to mess that up by making her jump through hoops? No, he recognizes a ruby when he sees it, but you're not a ruby if you haven't been preparing to be a ruby. And a lot of women get triggered when they hear that. Just because you want to get married doesn't mean you're ready for it. You're just saying it you're just doing a lot of lip service. You're just saying it with your lips. A man who is looking for a wife, he recognizes it. Her price is far above rubies. He's ready to pay that price once he meets her. What's the price? Get married to her, cover her, protect her. He's ready to do that. Once he sees a ruby, well, he sees cubic zirconia up out here. Yeah, no. No. And he's going to evaluate that and go, yeah, this isn't a ruby. I thought this was a ruby. It's not. So he has to look for her. And while he's preparing himself, He's preparing himself, and fellas, you need to listen to this too. When you are preparing for your wife, guess what you're also learning how to do? You're learning how to recognize a wife when you see one. Okay? So, ladies, don't let a man tell you, well, I have to test drive. Right. You have to test drive. I'm not a car, I'm not a vehicle. See, they want to get you into explaining. No, I said what I said. I appreciate that. I said what I said. And you just take a note that, yeah, he's pressuring me, so I probably need to pull back on him. Probably need to pull back on him. And I tell you how to move and move and avoid manipulation in the Future Wives Club, because we don't need to put out what we say to men, but you do need to know how what you need to say. Because if we tell you men what we're going to say, the men that are in the dating and sexual market and even the dark market, they'll take our words and twist them and get us all logically trying to logically explain why we've set these particular boundaries. Because when he's in the dating sexual market, he wants to play. He doesn't want to get serious. He doesn't want titles. He doesn't want to get serious. He wants to he wants the panties dropped. Period. He's fun focused. Why are you making it so serious? Let's have fun. And you need to know how to maneuver out here. You need to know what to say. Because men that are intentionally trying to misguide you, misuse you, misunderstand you, and they don't want anything to do with you seriously, will take your words and twist them. Oh, this is what they're saying to men to get around having sex? Okay, well, let me say this and let me say that. See, we put a lot of focus on marriage minded, which we don't say that anymore over here. We say marriage focused. You're marriage focused, so now if I sound like a husband and I use marriage vernacular, then she'll think that I want marriage, and I can use that and twist it into getting her into bed. Well, are you going to be the type of wife that denies her husband? Wait, we're talking about marriage now? I just met you. We've only had 2 dates. What are you talking about? Marriage. Am I going to be the type of wife? We've only had 2 dates. I get what you're saying. We've only had 2 dates. Slow your roll, cowboy. Ladies, you got to know what to say. Got to know what to say without pushing them away. My boyfriend has brought up twice wanting multiple wives when he becomes rich, but will punish me if I try to leave. I am preparing to leave in 6 months quietly. Okay. That's a lot there going on. Are you living with him? Why do you need 6 months to leave? Just a question. Just a question. All right. So if he's applying pressure to you about any type of boundary you're setting, that's a clear sign he's not him, as you ladies say. He's not him. That's not your guy. He's in the dating sexual market. And again, when he's in the dating sexual market, everything's superficial, it's short term, fast chemistry. If I don't get it by the 3rd date, I'm pulling back from her. Right? Convenience, fun focused. All of these things, clear signs and indicators. You don't need to think harder on that. I'm giving that to you. I'm telling you, you're wasting your time. Right? Now, how do you show up in the marriage market? You need some guidance on that, because you need to cleanse yourself of the pop culture, because the pop culture keeps you single. Everything these women out here are telling you is 98% of it will definitely keep you single. This is why I explained the bottleneck. The dating market and the dark market are at the bottom. The bottleneck is going to be the women that make it through to exclusive. That's where all the numbers fall off. That's where that separates the women who are going to get married from the women that are going to stay single. Is this bottleneck right here. That right there, that's the truth teller right there. Most women won't make it to that point. Right? And you need to know how to show up in the marriage market so it's clear to the man, oh, I found a ruby. Let me see if this particular ruby is my ruby. That's what you want him to think, right? And you need help trying to show up in the marriage market like that, especially if you're having your relationships end and you don't know why they're ending, why he's walking away, why he's not staying. You need to blind spot the bride today. You need to find out what particular was the particular reason why he's saying, I changed my mind on her. I don't know. It was good at first, but nah, I changed my mind. You need to know why. Get the blind spot the bride. The link is in the chat right there. Okay, you're living together. Okay. Yeah, you're living together. Okay, so you need some 6 months to move out. Yeah, you need the Future Wives Club so we can work through this, but also prepare you for your actual husband. Right? We're gonna have to pause some things, redirect, and work through this, and develop your strong points and your areas of opportunity, areas that you need to work on, and prepare you for a wife. Because he likes some things about you. Yeah, shacking. He likes some things about you. He does. Some things that he wants to keep, but he's greedy. And this is definitely not about you. This is about him. But we also need to kind of unpack what would make a man choose me and think that I would go for that. We need to also unpack that. But this is not about you, it's about him and his decisions and him wanting what he wants. And we also need to unpack what are the red flags that we ignored and how did we get so deep into this. Yeah, this is a rabbit hole. And so come to a supportive space, the Future Wives Club, so we can work through that. Shacking up, you all know how I feel about shacking up, right? It elongates your dating process because most people do not move in during the courtship. They move in during the dating phase. And so women think, oh, I'm moving in, then I'm courting, and the rest is downhill. Yeah, get the blind spot the bride, sweetie, so we can, that's your start, that's your entry point, and then accept the Future Wives Club invitation. There's some things to unpack because, believe it or not, there's some qualities there that he liked, that he wanted to pause on. He was like, yeah, I want to pause. I want to marry you. But he wanted to go and take it a step further. Now we need to understand, how did we get caught up in this rabbit hole with this guy? All right, so women get stuck in these tryout sessions with men. Why? Well, because they fear starting over. They fear starting all over. They feel like they've invested too much. I've been with him so long. I don't want to start over. I've invested. I gave. People saw me giving to this man. I bragged about him. I don't want to start over. I don't want to look like a fool. I've invested. You're hoping that your good behavior is going to convert him into a husband. You're hoping your good behavior will cause him to just wake up one day and go, aha, this is my Ruby. After the umpteenth time of sleeping with him without being married, you're hoping that this 150th time of sleeping with him with no ring, he's just going to wake up tomorrow, aha, this is my Ruby. That's not how that works, baby. She said, I did it, 9 years, lived together, big mistake, giant mistake. Yeah, you live and learn. You live and learn. But hoping your good behavior is going to convert him is how a lot of women have wasted so many years. You know what the biggest complaint that I have from women is they feel like they've overgiven. They feel like they're auditioning. And not even auditioning for a ring. They feel like they're auditioning just to be his girlfriend. You know it's bad out here in these streets. You're auditioning to be his girlfriend? Girl, he is definitely in the dating sexual market. He is wasting time. You got time like that? I know I don't have time like that. You have time like that? Just to just give your life over to a man so he can figure things out. I always looked at it like this, ladies. And I'm an older lady, so forgive me, but I always felt like I don't want a man that has to think about me. I want him to be sure. I it's one thing to vet and evaluate me. That's normal. That's required, right? But it's another thing. I don't know. Jump a little higher, Nicole. Jump through these hoops. I have to do all of that so you can decide about me. That would make me feel, oh, move in with me and let me see how you run a household first, and do this for me and have sex with me and put your emotions out there for me. So I have to give and give and give to you just so you can think about me. Ladies, think about what he's asking you to do. He's asking you to give your body to him unprotected. We're going to use protection, Miss Nicole. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about spiritual protection. This is where the Bible is always protecting women if you just get in it and read it. The Bible is always talking about a man protecting a woman. Always the head of the woman, being the head of her, is not to control her and submit, woman. That's not what that's for. That's what the pop culture makes you believe, is that men just want to, yes, unhealthy men want us to, and we always reject those type of men anyway, right? Tell us you date bad men without telling us you date bad men. No. The Bible is always telling us to submit to a man because he's supposed to protect us. He's supposed to cover us from all of the dangers and the headaches of the world. That is protecting our nervous system. So a man that wants to marry us, who wants to sign up to be our husband, and he understands those duties, is not going to expose us to danger, emotional discomfort, physical discomfort. Having sex before you are ready to create that bond with him, he's not going to do that to you because he knows that will hurt you. He knows that will put you in an uncomfortable position, and he will honor your boundaries. So, that's how you know that's not your husband. He's going to honor those boundaries. Right? And I tell you what to tell a man so that he sticks around. That he doesn't feel that you're playing games or anything like that, because you're not. But you need to phrase it in a way that he'll accept it. And phrase it in a way that he doesn't feel. Because even if he's husband material, he can still feel like you're playing games if it's not said the right way. So you need to have a way that you say it. And I will tell you how to communicate to him that these are my boundaries. Hey, Linnell, how you doing, baby? You need a way to communicate to him that these are my boundaries. Right? And your husband will honor them, but the men in the dating sexual market will not. They will push back against every boundary you have. And he will convince you that you must convince me. Convince me. Convince me. And I'll think about whether I want to make you my girlfriend. I'll think about whether I want to make you anything. This is why I don't like the whole term boyfriend, girlfriend anyway, because a lot of women out here are auditioning for boyfriends. You jumping through hoops. You auditioning and he's married. You're doing too much. You got a lot going on there, sister. It's a lot going on. Boyfriend and girlfriends out here? Boyfriends? You're doing too much. You're auditioning too much. Here's the thing. This is why a lot of women are out here. If I act with good behavior, it's going to convert you. You think he's a boyfriend, so I want him to be my boyfriend. That's if I do the right thing, he's going to be my boyfriend. Boyfriends are holding patterns. And what a lot of men that are in the dating sexual market will get you all excited about being a girlfriend. See, when you caught up trying to be the perfect girlfriend, you forget how to be a wife. Wives are not girlfriends. Well, Miss Nicole, that's the path to being a wife. I beg to differ. A lot of women out here are jumping through hoops, dating and trying to conform to every man they meet. They're trying to conform to what he wants. So that relationship doesn't work out because he's done watching you perform. Now he's, you know, now he's moving on. So here comes the next guy. Guess what? You're auditioning for him. And when he's tired of watching you put on a show, now he's gone on to the next person. And the cycle continues. By the time you're 35, 40 years old, you're tired. You're like, screw this marriage thing. Marriage isn't the be all, the end all. Screw this. Men just want their way. The hierarchy. I mean, the patriarchy. You know, it's all about what women need. So it's screw family, screw motherhood, screw patriarchy, down with the patriarchy. At the end of that day, at the end of the day, baby, all that means is you're just tired. You're tired of auditioning because maybe no one set you down and explained to you the difference between being evaluated and vetted from being auditioning. And every time you have a man come into your life, you put on a different hat. Well, this man wants me to be super spiritual, so let me get out my Bible and my blouse buttoned all the way up to the neck because that's what he wants me to be. That relationship doesn't work out. Then here comes another guy. Well, this guy, he's a playboy, and he wants a woman that's fly by the seat of her pants, and he wants a woman that doesn't conform to rules. He doesn't mind how I dress, so let me take out this short little dress and this short tight dress and be whatever he wants me to be. But he also wants me to be freaky, so let me be freaky. But he also wants me to be dainty in public, and he also wants me to cook well, so I have to be super sexy, cook well, be dainty. And then that relationship doesn't work out, so now you're really frustrated because you did everything he said he wanted and the relationship never moved forward. So now we on to the next guy. Now this guy, he's a nerd. He likes Comic Cons. He likes reading comic books. He likes, Call of Duty. He likes, So now you have to lower yourself to Call of Duty. You got to lower yourself to Comic Con. You used to going to galas and now you looking at comic books. You going to Dragon Con. You doing all kinds of stuff. You're like, oh. But this is what he wants. So now you dressing up for Dragon Con because that's what he does. So then when that doesn't work out, you throw the book against the wall. You're like, this is frustrating. I do everything these men want and I can't. Then you meet the guy that you think is him. You meet him. He sounds like he's in the marriage market. He's suit and tie. He's a, high options man. He's global. You meet him and you're like, woo. Ooh, I finally did it. See, I told those social media women in there telling me I needed to prepare for a wife. I told them I didn't need all that. I knew it. I knew I could attract a man like this. So you get him, and he's like, look, I need a woman that understands my lifestyle. I need her to get it. I need her to hit the ground running. Oh, you hit the ground. You just weren't running. You don't understand his world. This is why I created the Feminine Elite Society app so you could prepare for that world. Some of you will be in this world on different levels. And you need to know which level you will be in this world. Some of you will be at it at the top level. Some of you will be in the middle. And some of you will be in the entry level. It's okay. All of us won't be at the top, all of us won't be in the middle, and all of us won't be at the entry level. But you need to know which level you will enter in so that when your man finds you, you understand the assignment. Nevertheless, she's like, I don't need to learn all of that stuff. I don't need to learn how to understand his world. I don't screw all that. Okay. I'm professional. I know everything. I move in these circles already. I'm professional. I see these people in my office all the time. Well, that's great. But you meet him though, and he needs something a little bit different. Because see, he is okay with the degrees. He's okay with you being professional. But he needs you to be able to convert from the office go-getter. He needs you to be able to adjust. So now you're at home. Do you understand you're at home now? Do you understand you're with me now? You're used to being in control. Remember we talked about control last week? You're used to being in control. He needs you to pipe that down a little bit. You need to turn that. You with a Masters of the Universe. I call them Masters of the Universe guys, right? He's high options. Okay, he doesn't need your resume every time you're out. He doesn't need to know how much money you made. He needs you to kind of pipe down on that a little bit. And you don't get it. So you hit the ground, but you didn't hit it running. So he's like, okay, she doesn't understand the assignment. So what you do, you try to come to people like me and cram and think he won't know that you're cramming. He knows that you don't know what you're doing. He knows that you don't understand his world. He knows that you don't get it. You don't understand the assignment. He's already checked out. So now you're really frustrated because you really wanted him. So now you throw the book at the floor. You throw your glass at the wall. You're done. You start kicking and screaming and pouting. Now it's men don't want to commit. Men play games. Men are abusers. Men are liars. They're manipulators and everything else under the sun. No, some of that is true. I mean, if that's what you're dating. But a lot of those guys you dated aren't that. You just didn't understand the assignment. And that's a hard pill to swallow for a lot of women. That's why they love the pop culture. Because the pop culture tells them it's all Ben's fault. Right? Over here, we don't play those little kitty games. Over here, we're real women. And we're like, let's get it. What we got to do? What do we need to do to position ourselves in the marriage market to be seen as wives? We don't play these little kitty games. We did that already. Right? We did the little sister girl, you good. We did all that. Well, that's good. That's cool. That's fine. Right now, it's about finding out what I need to do to position myself to be prepared for him. Period. When you want something, you do what you have to do to get it. Period. Because that's what he thinks. A go-getter, if he sees something he wants, he goes to get it. Period. Your husband, when he sees you, if he wants you, he's going to come get you. So why do you feel like you don't have to do what you have to do to be prepared for him when he's ready to come get you? You think he's going to sit there, well, my baby got a whole bunch of flaws and she don't really understand the assignment of a wife, but I'm going to go ahead and marry her anyway. Is that what you think, girl? Come on, tell me that's what you think. Is that what you think? That's not how this works. That's what happens on Hallmark Channel movies. That's what happens on YouTube movies and Tubi. That's what happens on those movies. In real life, you need to be prepared for him, and he leaves. So now you're upset because the one you really wanted left. So then you think, well, I'm going to punish the world, and I'm just going to go get the kind of man I want. Screw all that marriage material and all that. I'm just going to go get the man that I'm attracted to. So then that's what you do. You go get the man that looks good. Guess what he does? You go get a free agent. Remember when I talked about free agents? You go get you a free agent. He's free. He's not trying to be tied down. He's settled down at night, and in the morning he's free. That's about as much settling down he's going to do. So you're like, okay, that's cool. I can deal with that. So you put your feelings on the back burner, your emotions on the back burner to accommodate this free agent because you're mad that these other men won't commit to you. You thought that you did everything they wanted. So you're like, okay, fine. Maybe if I just come in a relationship and I don't do anything, that'll work. So that's what you do with the free agent. You're like, well, he's not asking for anything. I won't ask for anything. He doesn't get feelings with sex. I won't get feelings with sex. He doesn't go to church. I won't go to church. You kind of mirror everything he does, but you don't understand. You are overperforming. Because you're literally putting yourself on the back burner to accommodate him. Because accommodating someone and ignoring your boundaries is the same as overperforming. Except you haven't learned that lesson yet. So guess what? When he gets tired of you, because of course he's good looking. Most free agents are. He's free looking. He's good looking. And guess what? He has a plethora of women who are signing up. signing up to be in his rotation. He has plenty of women doing that. You're one of many. So when he gets inconsistent, because that's what he does, Give him about 2, 3 months. And after 2, 3 months, he's inconsistent. And guess what? Now you really have had it. If you don't go full blown feminism after that, feminist after this, you are pissed at men. Excuse my language. You are mad. You are upset. Screw these men. You mad at the church. You mad at the colleges. You mad at your parents. You're mad at other women. You're mad at married women. You're mad at Christians. You're mad at everybody. They let you down. You're mad at older women. You're mad at older people. You're mad at the government. Like, screw this, man. These men suck. Like, everything is, these men are 50-50. These men are horrible. These men, oh man, every day. You're looking for posts that go in on men. You're looking for videos that go in on men. You know who I'm talking about. Every time he make a post, he's going in on men and how men did women wrong. You know who I'm talking about. You gravitate to people like that. Yeah, fellas, y'all dropped the ball when y'all did it the woman like this because she saw that you weren't good and she saw that you weren't blah, blah, blah. And you like, oh, you eat it up, baby. Ooh, you eat it up like a bunch of sugar cookies. Ooh, he gets it. He understands. No, he doesn't. He's pandering. And you know it deep down, but you need an ally. Because you need someone to understand you right now. How did he do this to you? Oh yeah, that's exactly who I'm talking about. How dare, it's a few of them. It's not just him. He's just the king of them, but it's a few of them. How dare he do me like this? She said there's only one masters of the universe. Of course. Of course. Absolutely. What I'm talking about are high options men. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, of course. Panderers love to be unfaithful. Because that's the image that they want to sell you. But enough about that. The point I'm trying to make is you convince yourself that good behavior is going to convert him. That's what I'm talking about. For those of you that don't know what Masters of the Universe, there was a cartoon called He-Man, Masters of the Universe. And that's what I'm relating when I say I'm using that analogy to say a Masters of the Universe. That means he masters everything he touches. He is a producer. He is the top level man out here. He's the most desired. He has high options. In no way, shape, or form am I comparing him to God. Come on, y'all. Relax. Giving wife benefits too early. This is where a lot of women get caught up in because a lot of men will say, well, how should I know? How do I know that you're going to be a wife if you don't show me? In other words, this is another way to get wife benefits about you without you being a wife, without him having to commit, without him having to actually be a man and do what he's supposed to do. Give you wife benefits. And if he can convince you if he can convince you to do these things, he's batting 1,000, baby, as they say in baseball. He's batting 1,000. Giving wife benefits way too early. This is where you need an advisor to help you navigate these things, because what will happen is you'll listen to the culture where you see this sexy woman standing over a stove talking about, I love cooking for my man. Baby, that's a show. That's a show. Like, I know women do cook like that from time to time. I've been known to do what I do. But understand this. Wives, you know what I'm saying. Wink, wink. You know, but just posting that just random on, y'all got to know when the pop culture is gaslighting women. You have to know when the pop culture is really trying to trick women. You have to understand these things. What they're doing is tricky, and men will love these posts and share these posts amongst each other and get women thinking that that's what will keep their attention. That's overperforming. None of that is even required. None of that's required. Now, once you get married, you do what you do. But none of that's required in order for a man to propose to you. This is insane. But women, we buy into this. Why? Because we start listening to the pop culture, which has nothing to do with marriage. The pop culture is not about marriage. They're about the dating sexual market. Period. That's why I'm leaving this up here so it sinks in your brain. The pop culture will tell you you need to cook for your man. I'm sorry. I need to cook for my husband. You're right. I need to prepare a meal for my husband. I need to make sure my husband is eating nutritious meals. You're right. I need to make sure he's not eating too much fattening food. You're right. I need to make sure there's food in my house. My pantries are stocked. You're right. But for some random man that I'm dating, I don't know this man. I don't know you. Why do I need to feed you? I don't know you. Now, did I cook a meal for a man that was courting me for marriage? Sure. This is why you need an advisor so that you don't overdo it. Because this is what happens. Because Dove, sweetie, sweetheart, you ladies are so loving and so sweet. And you've been waiting for so long to give good love to a man that you jump. You put the cart before the horse. And you jump out too soon. And you start giving all of that good love before he's let you know how committed he is about you. And you need an advisor who's been there, done that. Hello, I'm raising my hand. I'm not talking down to any woman, honey. A lot of this stuff I'm talking about, I've done. I've made the mistake. That's why I can talk about it, because a lot of stuff, I had egg in my face a couple times. Yikes. You don't have to get egg on your face because I've already done it. So you need an advisor that can tell, okay, this is what you do. This is how you navigate. This is why the women that come through my program, as horrible as it is out here, they still get husbands. You need somebody that can navigate that. This is past do these 5 things on a date. You're past that. You're past that. You need some real advisory out here. He said respect will get you for, especially in the beginning. I've seen a lot of initial disrespect when dating. A lot of things happen during the dating phase that are supposed to happen. You're supposed to reveal yourself. You're supposed to see some things. That's how you know this should be cut off or we can move forward. Some things you see, you're like, this is a good thing. And then some things you see, you're like, I'm so glad I saw this now. I can cut this off now and start over with somebody else. That's what the dating phase is for. We in the dating sexual market, people try to make these markets intertwined. They're not. The marriage market is completely different. We move different. Remember my video I did a few weeks ago. I said move different. Move different. We move different. People get triggered by that because the culture has told them you're just supposed to roll out of bed and be able to get a husband. What kind of husband? What kind of man you're talking about? Even the roll out of bed type of husbands still put you through some stuff. So what I'm saying is you're giving wife benefits too early, right? A man does not marry you because you performed well, ladies. He marries you because he decided you're his wife, period. Now, I didn't say he doesn't vet you, and I didn't say he doesn't evaluate you, because yes, he does, especially if he's accomplished. The more successful he is, the more you're going to be vetted. And here's the thing that you must understand. This is why I created the Feminine Elite Society app, so I could really get into this really deep like I really want to. And I know I couldn't do this on YouTube. But honey, the more successful he is, the more his family is going to vet you. A lot of times he sees you, he's into you, and that's about as deep as he's thinking. His family members will vet you. You have to be ready for that. You think you're ready for that? You don't even like your own family. You think you're going to be ready for his? Come on now. Come on. Come with me. Come. They're looking for social cues that you don't even think they're looking for. They're looking for things. They're looking for signs. They're looking for things you need to know. You think you know, you don't. Yes, if you have, yeah, if it says his sisters don't play, absolutely. You're their brother. And for a lot of families, the man that you're talking about you want to marry, he's the patriarch of that family. He's the leader of the family. Especially if he's successful and you coming up here talking about you want to marry him and you don't care what his family think. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. I know how I am personally about my own son. I'm not a monster-in-law. I love my daughter-in-law. She's a blessing. But I know how I am about him. I'm not even going to front on that. I'm just honest. I know he has a good heart. I know he means well. So I don't want him with someone that's going to hurt him. You haven't seen my claws unless you see how you come at my kids. So you can imagine how his family is going to be about him. Just like your brothers are about you. Just like your father is about you. My father didn't play about me. Neither did my brothers. They don't play. And neither will his family. You're not prepared for that. And a lot of times they're going to be like, what are you doing with her? This is wife material. Don't mess this up with her. That's what you want them to say about you. You don't want them to say she's a gold digger. Where's she come from? Who her people? What school did she go to? What? They're going to start asking questions, baby. Difficult questions. If you don't know, if you're not prepared for that, baby, you get a cop of attitude, you're finished. You're highly finished. Into the fun girl section you go. There's nothing he can do. He's not going to go up against those women in his family. You must know these things. Because guess what? Those women in his family are going straight to his father or going straight to the accountant or whoever's running the money. He is out of his wits. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's going to jeopardize this family and our future and our money and our... Look who he's dealing with. Absolutely not. He must not be in control of anything. That'll be the women doing that. You think this is a game. You think you can just sashay into his life just that easily. Baby, that family, that mom, those sisters, stepmama, everybody. They're looking at you like, okay, now who is this floozy? They're not calling you a floo, but sometimes they do. Sometimes they say it behind your back, sometimes to your face. You need to be prepared for that. See, pop culture tells you that this billionaire is just going to fly out of the sky. He's going to fly his jet into your neighborhood, walk you out of your house into his jet, and you're going to fly off into the sunset and never have to worry about things. And then you woke up. Those sisters, that mama, and that's just, you haven't even met his business colleagues, right? People that have invested in his projects, and they're looking at you and evaluating you because you are a reflection of his decision making. And if you don't understand the assignment and you cop an attitude, everybody try to tell you something, this is why a lot of women can't elevate. And you're saying, well, I'm professional, Nicole. I understand. Right. And they're still going to evaluate you because there's gatekeepers. I broke that down on the app. In the latest video, I broke down the gatekeepers and at what level you will meet the gatekeepers. And what they look like and what they're going to say and the signs that they're gatekeeping. And it's not who you think it is. It's not who you think are the gatekeepers, right? But anyway, in the dating market, he's going to say, how can I know if you like me? Unless you have sex with me. He's going to say that. Remember that, ladies. An intentional man, he's going to have his own boundaries, and he's going to expect you to have yours. And not only that, but he's going to respect your boundaries. And this is why your messaging is so important. What do I mean by messaging? How you present yourself, how you speak, all of those things. People think that I'm just overly just trying to get people to act like church moms with pearls on. No, you don't have to be like me. I'm going to wear my pearls. I'm going to do me. I'm not trying to make you into some performative, that's not what I'm doing. I'm telling you that your messaging must communicate wife. Whatever you wear is must communicate wife. Your presentation must communicate wife. The pop culture tells you you can do, say, wear whatever you want. Why is it that women understand this in the corporate world, but they don't understand this in the romantic world? He needs you to understand that when you leave the office, take the blazer off and put some heels on. Put your hair up. Or take your hair down. He needs you to understand, put on a little soft fragrance and put a little lipstick on after work. Make yourself a little softer. He understands that. He wants you to understand that. He wants to see your legs a little bit. You've been in the office all day in slacks. He wants to see some legs. These are men. They want to see that you understand that. They want to see what kind of message are you sending. And women don't understand that everything they do is a message. See, the only reason women have to perform, and I will say this just like this, and you can fuss at me in the comment section later, I'm going to ignore it if I don't block you. But the only women, the women that have to, and I won't say the only, but the women that have to perform the most, over explain, over perform, over give in relationships are women that their messaging is off. You don't communicate wife. So the man will exploit that. He does not see a wife when he first meets you. Therefore, he's like, well, since, she's not communicating, she's a wife anyway. She does know that. He assumes you know that you have mixed messaging. He does not consider that his problem that you don't get it. So since she has mixed messaging, then I don't feel bad putting her in the fun girl section. She should know her messaging is off. Her Instagram photos say one thing and her mouth says another. She should know she's giving me mixed messages, and therefore I shouldn't have to explain why she's in the fun girl section. Don't come to me talking about wife. What do you mean, wife? When are we going to be a couple? What are you talking about? You don't see your eye? Like, if I wish that we could put a microphone in a man's brain. I'm like, is she serious right now? We just got through doing the most nastiest sex ever, and she's talking about marrying? Is she for real? Let me figure out how to get away from her right now before she spaz out, because I don't see this going good. Does she understand what just happened here? I didn't see a wife when I first saw her, but now she wants me to see a wife? Is she okay? I knew these women were crazy. God dog, my brother told me not to date her, but I went ahead and did it anyway, because she's, her body is insane, and look at me now. How do I slip on out of this room easy without getting her to, arguing with me? What kind of excuse can I make up? Let me text my brother while I'm in the bathroom and make him call me in 15 minutes as my excuse, my emergency to get out of here with her, because she's wilding out. I don't even know why she think I'm going to be her man. I never treated her like I wanted to keep her. I'm never consistent. I never talked to her about marriage. I never said any of these things. I just said I wanted to test drive it, and she let me test drive it. What's the problem? And you're sitting there like, oh my God, he wants me to overgive, overperform, screw marriage. No. You just need to back up. Your messaging is all wrong. Baby, when you're in the marriage market, you look like you're in the marriage market. Oh, Miss Nicole, you're telling me to dress boring. Huh? I have a former client who got married. None of my clients, as a matter of fact, none of them dress boring. Shout out to Ivana. She's on the golf. I think she's playing golf right now. Happy wife, happy life. Happy wife, happy life, saved life, right? She's on the golf course now. I think Tuesdays is her golf day. She doesn't dress like a school marm. She doesn't dress boring at all. She has a beautiful beach body. So let's get rid of that argument right now. Well, Miss Nicole is telling us to dress like her. No, I'm an older woman. I'm not telling you to dress like me. I'm telling you to be cognizant of the messaging you have. I'm gonna do what I do. But when I was your age, I still dressed a certain way because I got married at 23. I'm not comparing you to me. I just want you to understand that what kind of messaging are you putting out there? Because that's what he's looking for. That's the decision he's making for. So you mean to tell me he's gonna sum me up in my look? Yeah, just like you sum him up. Look what kind of car he got out of. Look what he got on. Look what his shoes. Look how much money he make. Did you just sum him up? Okay, well he sums you up too. Yep, yep. We're adults over here, okay? We're adults. And he summoned, hey, sum me up because my messaging is going to give wife from day one. From day one, I'm moving like a wife. Okay? Your messaging, if your messaging is off, you're going to find yourself overperforming, overgiving, over explaining all the time with men because they just don't see it. They just don't see it. They think you see it, but they don't give it much thought. They're like, well, cool. All right, she's not the one. She's not my Ruby. But hey, she'll do for now. She'll do for now. And so when you find yourself in the girlfriend section or the friends with benefits section, the fun girl section, guess what you're doing? Overgiving, overperforming, and over explaining. And overperforming. Performative femininity. Everything's performing with you because you're auditioning. You're auditioning. You don't understand, you missed it. You will never be in the future wife lane. Not with him anyway. And he's not going to tell you. Somebody's got to tell you, so I'll tell you. You're overperforming. You're doing too much. He's already made his decision. If he keeps putting the date out, well, we'll try next year. We'll try the year after that. We'll try this and try that. If he keeps pushing the date, baby, he's made his decision. And you should have enough self-esteem about yourself to know that you're good enough for a man to know you're his Ruby. Are you a Ruby for somebody? He should know she's my Ruby. And if she's not my Ruby, then I don't want her. I don't. He should not put you in a holding pattern for him to decide about you. That means he's prioritizing himself over you. He's not covering you emotionally. He knows that will emotionally tear you up because you save face. Okay, whatever I gotta do, I'll perform. No, you deserve better than that, and he knows it. Your husband knows it, but he can't get to you because you're too busy auditioning for a man who's already made his decision up about you. Your husband is preparing for you, but he can't get to you because you're too busy you're too busy overperforming for a man who he doesn't want you like that. That doesn't mean you don't deserve love. You absolutely do. Your husband is out there like, where is my woman at? Where is she? He's preparing for you. He's like, I know my woman is going to want me to be able to buy a house. I know she wants my credit good. So let me get my stuff together and let me get my weight. She wants me to be in shape. So let me get my weight. I mean, he's getting himself together. And instead of you preparing for him, you're out here performing for a man who's got you in a holding pattern. Yeah, she's somebody else's Ruby. But he doesn't care. Because she's there voluntarily. He's not holding her against her will. She's there on her own. Happily in that holding pattern. When your messaging is off, you can easily find yourself auditioning. Now, courtship does have milestones. And in courtship, time isn't the problem, okay? Direction is. We are all about direction. See, that's how you know you're in the marriage market, because it's clear direction. A woman should be able to feel forward movement, not sideways movement, not down movement. No, forward. Because there's clarity, there's leadership coming from him, there's integration. We're integrating our lives and we're serious. Indefinite dating is that's not even a Christian strategy. That's a pop culture convenience. You're convenient when you're dating. Nothing about me is convenient. Nothing about me is convenient. Nothing about being with Nicole is convenient. I'm not convenient. Let me call Nicole when I'm convenient. When I need some convenience. When it's convenient for me. I don't want to be that girl. I want him to go out of his way to say, I want you. Because guess what? I'm going to go out of my way for him. I'm going to go out of my way for him to let him know, yes, I want you to be in my life. I love you. And not really going out of my way. It's just me being. It's not going out of my way. It's really just being. Let me correct that. Women don't have to go out of our way. Just be. Just show up as a wife. He's trained. He's been groomed. He's been preparing to recognize a wife when he sees it. So you won't have to perform. You won't have to overdo. But nothing about you is convenient. Nothing about you should be convenient. Nothing about me is convenient. Does that make sense? Yes, just being who you are because you're prepared to be a wife. So who you are is a wife. You're refining and fine tuning all of that about you. So when he sees that, he sees wife. He's like, oh, yes, I found my Ruby. I found my wife. That is what you're doing in the Future Wives Club. You're preparing for that moment. Women want to, skate through it and figure it out. And I'll just figure it out and it'll all work out. How is that working for you? Our marriage rate is below 30%. How is that really working for women? Please tell me, how is that working for women just figuring it out? How is that really working? Women are doing too much and they don't have to do too much. And this is why this is risky, trying to do this all by yourself. Because what happens is we normalize being confused. We normalize being frustrated. We normalize being perplexed and being put on hold and our boundaries ignored. And we just call it, I'm just being patient. I'm just being patient. I understand. He's a high-powered man. I understand. He's a good-looking man. He has all these choices. I understand. Why is it you're doing all the understanding? You have all the patience and all the understanding. And that doesn't move the needle for you at all, with him at all. That's when you know you're auditioning. What happened is if you try to do all of this by yourself, trying to figure it out, I'll figure it out. I'll work it out by myself. You'll keep giving benefits to prove yourself. And then you're going to shrink your standards to avoid losing him. Well, that wasn't a big deal. I don't have to get married. We could just live together. What's marriage anyway? Yeah, you're right. More than 50% of marriages end in divorce. Why am I pressuring him for marriage? I don't really want marriage after all. You just start moving the goalposts back and back and back and back till you don't get anything. And you're going to waste your time. You're going to waste your most valuable asset, which is your time. And your emotional energy. You're going to waste both of it trying to figure this thing out. You're going to go from video to blog to article to TV show to this person to that person to this coach to that coach. And at the end of the day, you're trying to figure it out. No. You just need to be still and get with someone that can give you some advisory over this. Once and for all. One stop shop. One, don't audition for benefits. Don't audition for a man with and trying to give him benefits. Don't do that. Two, you must require clarity without chasing him. And three, measure his movements. Measure your movements, not your moments that you have. We get caught up in the moments, the moment. This is why the rotation feels so exhilarating. You don't even realize you're in a hamster wheel. You're in a rotation. You don't even realize you're a fun girl because you're focusing on the moments that you two share. This is why a lot of women will get very triggered when they hear the fun girl definition because they believe that's not me. I'm professional. I'm Yes, you are. You're beautiful. You're magnificent. You're fantastic. But there's only four categories, not five. People are trying to make you think it's more categories, but no, that's to soothe your ego. No, it's fun girl section. That means it's casual. It's casual, it's rotation, it's situationships, it's never moving forward. Just a bunch of promises. Even if you're a girlfriend and you're like, why do my relationships keep falling and dying? What's going on? Why won't these men go further with me? Trying to do it on your own. You haven't mastered messaging. You haven't figured out what's standing in your way. It may not be messaging. And you figure, I'm professional. I know these things. I've got this figured out. Yes, you have your career figured out. Yes, you're fantastic. But when it comes to romance, sometimes we need to reach out to people that can help advise us a little bit, not tell you what to do, not talk down to you, not cheapen you or, make you feel like it's your fault, but kind of advise you, kind of give you some 2 cents on the direction that you may need to explore. That's it. Not insult your intelligence because you're highly intelligent, highly educated, very sophisticated, very beautiful. But you may need somebody to look at your situation from a different angle that you cannot see because it's you. I've had to do that. Every woman that's got married has had to do that. Tryouts for these men are expensive. They cost you years. You've given years to your education, your family. So you're going to give more years to a man while he tries to think about whether he wants to keep you or not? Come on, you're smarter than that. You're smarter than that. You're smarter than that, and you know it. You know deep down you're auditioning it, and this is going way too far. Stop measuring the moments, measure the movements. Are we moving forward? That will let you know. He said, do they all have the friend aspect? No. The friends is a category where everybody knows this is platonic. He knows and you know we've both accepted this is platonic. That's why I just put that in the middle because she's not, it's not necessarily a layer, but she's in there. It's a category. She's not least important or most important, but she's there. It's platonic, so it's not necessarily romantic. And most women are not in the platonic area. Most women, that's why I don't even talk about it that much, because most women are not in the platonic area. You're not. You're either future wife, girlfriend, or fun girl. And if you are a fun girl, find yourself constantly with the casual hookups and guys making dark market innuendos to you or overtures to you or putting you in rotation, always suggesting situationships with you. You always find yourself in situationships. You need the good girl method because I created the fun girl rehab where I dive into this and I go deeper than this particular live and I go deeper in that and I throw all that stuff away and rebuild you so that when you leave the program, which is short, it's not even a long program, when you leave it, you are ready to prepare for a wife. And that's a conversation you've got to be ready to have with yourself. And it's not a beat up session, but it is a session to say, okay, I've had my fun girl time. Why aren't my relationships working out? What do I need to change? And a lot of guys are not going to beat you up for having a past. They beat you up for not fixing it. They beat you up for they don't beat you up, but they are kind of perplexed and disillusioned and want to disconnect from women that say, yeah, that's my past, and you're still in your past and you're still living like that. It hasn't been any maturity, no growth is still there. That's when it becomes a problem. But with grown people that have lived life, they know people have passed, they've had experiences, and some are better than others. Some had some real hard, tough lessons. And sometimes you need an advisor to say, okay, this part of you, that's great. Let's grow, let's expand that. But this part, that's part of you, but that's not something that we want to just keep as the forefront. We want to highlight our strong points, and we want to refine those places and heal those places and learn from those misdirections and mistakes. We want to learn from that, not still live in it with our chest because we're too ashamed to say we want to redirect. It's okay to redirect. As a a feminine woman, it is okay to redirect. It's not okay to pretend that you've redirected and you're still that same person and put on a facade that you've changed and you're really the same person underneath. No, in the fun girl method, we own it. We own it. This is what happened. This is the decisions I've made. And this is my new trajectory based on who I am. I'm not changing who I am. I'm not trying to be someone I'm not. I'm not trying to take on some fake identity. I am just refining who I really am and getting rid of and healing the parts that need healing. That's what I'm doing. And I'm doing it in a structured way so that I can prepare to become a wife. This isn't a 6 month, a year, 2 year, 3 year thing, unless you want it to be. It doesn't have to be. You just need to know what to do. And a lot of women don't know how to reset. So you know what? They show up in the dating market because it's not the marriage market. In the marriage market, those men will immediately know you're not wife material. But they show up in the dating sexual market like, yeah, so I did this and and he's like, cool, fun girl it is. Fun girl it is. Right off the rip. You want to know why your relationships keep falling by the wayside? You need the Blindspot the Bride. And that link is in the chat box at the top. It's in the pinned link. Get that while it's still available. What I want you to know is most women, you really don't need more advice. What you do need is to know why you keep accepting tryouts. You need to know why you're showing up this way and how to correct the pattern without getting emotional, harsh, or manipulative, because that's what happens to a lot of women when they find out that they've been overperforming and over-explaining. They get an attitude immediately. They start lashing out at men, at women, anybody that they feel is being critical of their behavior. They start lashing out. Mostly men. They start lashing out. I can always tell a woman that has been overperforming because she cannot get over dragging a man. She can't help it. We could be talking about Mary Had a Little Lamb and she'd be like, yeah, because yeah, these guys out here, their fleece be dirty. Like we're talking about Mary Had a Little Lamb. And you're talking about, you bring men in it. We could be talking about anything and they'll make men the center while supposedly decentering men. That's how I know they're hurt. And that's how I know that they're showing up and they're overperforming. Every guy that comes into their life, they're trying to shape themselves into what he wants instead of becoming the woman that they're supposed to be. Because that's what you do when you're preparing to be a wife. You're preparing to be a wife, which is nothing but refining who you are and understanding yourself so that you know who's best match for you. And when you do that, your husband, future husband, is doing the same. Guess what? When you see each other, you're like, yeah, we could do this. You don't have to date 2, 3, 4, 5 years to do that, because he's been preparing for you and you've been preparing for them, for him. Does that make sense? And this is why so many women are harsh and manipulative. Yeah, let's get that man for his money. Yeah, let's go out here and get some money, honey. Let's get that man. Yeah, because, that's not you. That's not you. That's lowbrow behavior. That's not you. A lot of you, you're not trying to marry a man for money. That's not really your foremost, your uppermost priority. That's something you like for a man to be very well off, but it's not priority. You want a man to show up and be his best self. And when that doesn't happen, you become manipulative. That's not who you are, but you're hurt. You're like, nobody understands that I've shown up with my heart, and he stumped all over it. And why did he accept all of this if he didn't want me? Why did he allow me to do all of these things if he didn't want me? Easy. He did it easily. He understood the messaging. He made a decision. And he withheld letting you know what his decision was, that you were a good for now or a fun girl. And he withheld that information from you. And instead of you saying, this isn't moving forward, you're paying attention to the exhilaration, the excitement, the moments, and not paying attention to moving forward. So before you know it, you're in this relationship that's not moving forward. So you leave the relationship and now you're mad. Right? You become emotional. You get in relationships and you want to set your boundaries from day one. He better know I'm not accepting this and I'm not accepting that. Yeah, nothing's wrong with boundaries, but it's from an emotional hurt place and it's not from a fair place. You sound like a school teacher, a prison warden, not someone that's in a healthy place that could communicate her boundaries in a healthy way. And he checks out. He's like, category she is, fun girl she is. I'm not getting ready to deal with all this. She's got too many issues. I'm not getting ready to deal with all of this. Yeah, she's fun to be around. I like her. I'll keep her for a little bit till I find something better. They make that decision real quick. So jumping into these behavior, emotional and being harsh and being manipulative, all that does is set him up, and to him he feels justified in not wanting to marry you. He's like, there's no push to be with her. Look how she's acting. Look how she shows up. Manipulative meaning, and here's another way when I say manipulative. It doesn't always have to be money. Manipulative can manifest in ways like you being passive aggressive. You know you want a relationship, but you won't say it. You don't know how to communicate it because you won't get with an advisor who will show you how to communicate that early on so he knows. So you do the passive aggressive, you do the overperforming and the explaining in hopes that he just gets it. That he's just going to see your performance and just know that you're his ruby, know that you're his wife. That's manipulative. So ladies, for those of you that know that you want to position yourself for that kind of marriage, for a high-powered, high-functioning, high-options man, or just position yourself in the marriage market for the best men, download the app. And it's not just about relationships. It's all about preparing yourself for the business world and understanding that internationally and domestically. It's great for women that may not be from the U.S. It's good for that as well. Understanding the landscape. Being cute is not enough. You have to understand the landscape. For those of you that you're tired of wondering why you are always the fun girl. Why do my relationships not work out? Why do men always come to me wanting a hookup Why don't they want to take me seriously? Or why did it start out going pretty well and then I ended up in this rotation and I ended up just being a short term girlfriend, or he just faded to black on me and stopped calling me. He became inconsistent. I thought it was going well. What happened? You need to blind spot the bride, and you need it today. Stop wasting time. It's not even a big program. It's not even going to take you 6 weeks and 8 weeks and 12 weeks. It doesn't even take you a whole day. You'll know right then and there what you need to work on so that that doesn't happen. You want to keep going through the spring and the summer, meeting these great guys and having those relationships fizzle out? You still want to keep doing that? Or you want to just nip it in the bud and work on that so this summer when you're out and cute, you can go out with confidence knowing that the men that you attract, you'll keep the ones you want. And vet them to see if they're your husband. Even though a man finds a wife, women get to choose who they want to be with. Yes, they do. Because men do the pursuing. Men do the extending of the offer. So it's up to the woman to accept the offer. And ladies, if your offer is always, so where you live, can we go back to your place? Your offer is always, well, let me get back to you. And he's always calling you on a Saturday afternoon or a Saturday night. And you know that means somebody canceled, right, ladies? Okay, so he's calling you on a Saturday night to go hang out with him last minute. If that's always the invitation you get, you need to blind spot the bride today. And you need the Fun Girl Rehab, which is in the Good Girl Method. All of that is on the innerbeautymovement.org. Now, the Blind Spot the Bride link is pinned here in the live chat. Both the links are at the website, theinnerbeautymovement.org. But just in case you're here at the live, you can click the link. I made it convenient for you for the Blind Spot the Bride. The same videos on the app, or are they available in the Future Wives Club? No. The app is strictly for your social capital, increasing your social capital in love and business. That's what that's for. Now there are some there's some things on there about relationships, because you need to understand that world. You need to understand dating. Let me pull it up and give you examples of what I'm talking about. Let me pull the app up. You ladies that are on the app, you know what I'm talking about. Let me pull it up here. Give you an example. When you first go in, like if you don't have the app, just download it and get the daily affirmations. But once you're on the app, you have the Elite Finishing School, which is going to refine you, get you ready for understanding that world, social events. For those of you that, every year they have the Barons Ball. You need to know. The Oil Barons Ball is what I call it, but that's on here. And it's in several cities. You need to know. That stuff you all go to. You go to work, you go home, you go to church. You're going to have to expand your horizons a little bit, ladies. And you need to know where these events are. And there's one in Dallas, Houston, several places. Cleveland. No, I'm sorry. It's not in Cleveland. It's another place. You need to know where these places are. There is, hold on. A Charleston event, a Charlotte event. A lot of things happening in Miami. Augusta. Birmingham. Milwaukee. I don't know, that's in categorized wrong. So Chicago events. Kentucky Derby is coming up, but there's also other events in Kentucky as well. A lot of things happening in New York. A lot of things. And a lot of these events are not super, super expensive. There are some, like one event was like $2,000 a plate. But some of you will be able to do that. You need to get in some of these rooms. You need to. Like, stop. This is 2020. Let's stop playing games. Like, just pay the money, get in the room, stop playing. You want to just run into these people at the Whole Foods? Like, I get it, I understand, but I guess you have time like that. UK events, Monaco events, London. There's a few London events I have on here, and I have a couple of more things I need to load up for London. Colorado, Denver, Aspen, a couple of things in. I have a couple of things in Phoenix I need to add. San Francisco, Vegas. Um, there's a couple of more things for, and that's just events, right? But for those of you that, you want to wear your cowboy boots, but you want to be in a classy environment with successful people, yeah, you need to get on the app. I'm going to tell you where to go. Old Money Set. And this is where we start talking about your wardrobe. Globetrotter spaces that you need to go to that are not highly talked about. Time waits for no man. Exactly, Bernard. Uh, Men don't care about you being strategic about getting in places to be around him. You do understand that, ladies. Men don't care about that. They want to know, do you know how to act when you get there? That's what they want to know. Your lexicon, your speech, hobbies, what you're doing, debutante training. We do that on the app. You don't have to pay thousands. I mean, if you want to do those things, you can. But this stuff is conveniently in your purse. Country club life, um, business etiquette, what you eat, your careers, career set. You want to change your career, you want to pivot. I'm going to tell you what careers are going to put you in the rooms, baby. Style and image. Get your style together, your messaging together. We talk strategy on here. We don't beat around the bush. I have a dating and courting section, a femininity edit, where we talk about femininity specifically, and marriage market and social strategy. We don't beat around the bush. I'm going to position you around the best men. I don't know if you pay attention to my IG stories, but I have clients who they have elevated. They're going to galas now. They don't even, when they post on IG, it's usually some event they went to. And every now and then, if I catch their photos, I'll repost their photos. So that we don't play around here. Men do not care about you having a strategy. It's what you do when you get with him. That's what they care about. People just haven't figured that out and they play too many games and that's why they lose out. I have a leisure section, books, articles, TVs, games. I have a game on here that we simulate an actual gala so that when you get ready to go, you know how to work the room. And that's been on there for over a year. Soft life rituals. You having a rough day? Come in here and calm down right quick. Peaceful soundscapes. You want to fall asleep, having trouble falling asleep? I have prayer videos to help you lead you in prayer so that you can calm down. Travel spots and places that you may not be aware of. And I'm just going through here because I haven't really talked about this, but I have a journaling section. Yes, that's a good one. It's at the Breeders' Cup Championship. Absolutely. Relation, is that in Virginia? Because I know there's something coming up in Virginia. Womanhood development, feminine grooming, healing, and it's a couple of more sections for journaling. I have books on here you can download. And then for those of you that are in Future Wives Club, you can access the club from the app if you are a member. For your convenience, I'm sorry. Excuse me. So that's the Feminine Elite Society app. For those of you that clearly want to prepare to be a wife, the Future Wives Club is where you need to be. ASAP. The Future Wives Club, we don't beat around the bush. I have let me show you the sections that we talk about in the Future Wives Club so you know. We have the Esther's Keep where we're preparing you. Mind, Body, and Soul, the Mary Well Corner. Listen, we're not just preparing for any old man. We're preparing for the best men. So we want to be prepared for them when they see us. We want to let them know that we understand their world and we understand what it takes to be their wife. Male psychology, vetting strategies, the wife prep library, domestic CEO. wife prep exercises, your future wife's toolkit, and seasonal challenges. And the list goes on. Yes, I can hear you, but want to see you live on video. Hey, Angelica, how are you? You do see me live on video. Get my courses. I'm on video there. I'm on video inside the Blindspot the Bride. All right, and I'm on video when you book a package with me and you want an advisory package. And occasionally I will be on video. I'm doing some recorded videos for the spring. I just haven't edited them yet, so you'll see me on video. Here's the thing. You should be more concerned about preparing to be a wife than what I look like. Honestly. You know what I look like. So the question is, why do you come here? Right? Is it because you come here for entertainment? Because if you come here for entertainment, you'll be wrapped up in what I have on, what I look like, and things like that. You know what I look like. I have videos of me on camera. So that's this. I do it audio style. For one, I don't want to be on camera for 3 hours. I just don't. And I know I'm long-winded, and I know I get tired, and I start looking like I'm tired, and I don't want to do that for 3 hours. So I do it podcast style. Now, my shorter videos that I will release in the future, once I get them edited, you'll see me. I'll be on camera. And I'm on camera in my courses, and I'm on camera in my private sessions. My clients will tell you. Okay. So the Blindspot the Bride, that's available. Get that today. Future Wives Club. You want to catch up on the art of flirting? We did that Sunday. So ladies, catch up. And we have some summer activities coming up so that you can show yourself beautiful and ready for the summer, but also show up in the marriage market. Listen, let me close out with this. A wife doesn't have to audition. She is preparing herself. And when she's preparing herself, when he's evaluating her and vetting her, he doesn't need to make her jump through hoops because he sees a wife. And the only way that she could show up that way is because she prepared to be a wife. And a serious man does not keep you in tryouts forever. Hey, Angelica, I get it. I know. I know, but if you've seen some of my older videos, I'm on video. If you see me in my courses and you see me in my programs and you work with me one-on-one, I'm on camera for over an hour. I'm there. I just get tired. 3 hours and I'm talking and I might want to scratch my nose, and it's a lot to be on camera for 3 hours. Shout out to people who do it. I just don't want to do it. I just don't. So, but people who come here to prepare to be a wife, they could care less about what I have on. They want to know, how do I do this? I want my man, Nicole. Help me get married. That's what they want. So, and I oblige. I'm here. I get it. I get it. We don't audition for rings over here. But I will leave a few minutes for questions, for those of you that have questions, because this is another reason. Somebody got on me, why are your lives so long? Here's the thing. If you're not preparing to be a wife, this will be long to you because you're looking for tidbits on how to get over on men. This space is for women that are preparing to be wives. And a lot of them they have other things going on. They're at work, they're driving and things like that. And and they're listening. So they want to hang out for a couple of hours, and that's fine. But women that are looking for entertainment and things like that, they don't have time to sit for, and that's fine. You don't have to. Nobody's forcing you to do anything over in this section. And I do have shorter videos, and I see the numbers on those videos. People don't really watch them. They tune in for my lives. They do. They don't watch the short videos. But I will start them over again just because I like doing short videos. I do. I just haven't gotten around to editing them and putting them out there. But I like hanging out with you ladies so that if you have questions for me real time, I can answer them real time. And it builds rapport with me. You hear my voice, you hear my inflections, you hear my passion in my voice. We develop a relationship. You see me once a week. You know I'm coming every Tuesday at 1 o'clock. You can sit with me for a little bit and kind of let some things sink in. And you can multitask instead of just sitting and watching a TV screen. You can listen to me and do whatever else you have to do. That's the purpose behind a podcast style live stream and why it's so long. And for 30 seconds, are you really preparing to be a wife? Can you really build trust with somebody that only does 30-second videos with you about whatever? You really building a connection with that person? I the women that I've built connections with after my programs, they still stick around because we have a rapport, we have a relationship. I'm not knocking shorts. I do have them. I have some shorts I recorded and I haven't even released them. It's because I'm like, can they get that in 30 seconds, everything that I meant, or will they listen to this and take this out of context? I'll go with option 2. They usually take it out of context because the things that I'm talking about have depth. When you're talking about the marriage market, that's not something that you want to rush, and it's not something that you want to cram. It's something that you want to take your time with and understand because it is a lifestyle. It is a decision. It is a covenant. Now, when you're dating and you're just out here having fun, you don't want to sit up and talk to somebody for 3 hours about that. Although I have seen live streams of people just sitting up dragging men for 3 hours and nobody talks about that. Or if I did a live, how to get money from a man, and I talk for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, nobody would complain. So, but when we're talking about marriage, you understand how the culture does this to women? Oh my goodness. I love it. I love it. I will never stop my long streams. This is me. This is my ism right here. I love sitting down talking to women. I do. I love talking to you guys. I love talking and comparing, listening to your stories, comparing notes, your ideas. People still email me. They came through my programs and they still email me, Nicole, take a look at this. What do you think about that? Because we have a rapport. I don't take that lightly. I think that's important to have someone that's advising you about the most important decision you'll ever make. I don't want to be a stranger to you. I want to know, because when you come through my program, it's not, okay, on day 1 we do this, and on day 2 we do this, and no, it's bespoke to each and every one of you because you all require something different. So, when you work with me, it's bespoke and it's confidential. I don't discuss your business in any way, shape, or form. Not even my husband knows who you are. Right? That's how secret your stuff, not secret, but it's confidential. It's non-disclosure. Because I respect privacy, because I know how I was and I wanted NDAs. Like, what happens if I become famous or you become famous? Is my photo gonna be, yeah, she worked with me and she said blah 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 in my session? Like, that would freak me out personally. I'm just thinking about me. So if I felt that way, I wanted to extend the same courtesy to the people that work with me, whether they're a celebrity, whether they're related to a celebrity, a child of celebrity, whether they are famous, public figures. I want them to feel safe with me. Whatever we talk about goes to the grave. You might have to do a repeat like they do on TV, because that's how shows are seen that hasn't been seen. Yeah, during the summer, I may, we do the rerun sometimes. I may do lives this summer, I don't know. So go back and listen to it, then see where they may need some understanding. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So this is it. If nobody has any questions, we'll get out of here. But ladies, shout out to you that are taking the steps to get the blind spot to bride, to recognize your blind spots, and that you are coming into the Future Wives Club. Don't let the pop culture discourage you. Men aren't getting married. They're not asking you out on dates. You're absolutely right. They're not doing that in the dating sexual market. Nope. They're not taking women seriously there. They're They're not putting forth their best effort in dating sexual market because that's all it is. Why put effort into something that's not going anywhere? And that's what the men are pushing back on. Why? She's not showing up as a wife. Why do I need to show up with put my best foot forward? For what? Why? Now, in the marriage market is totally different. And if you are seeing that men are not stepping forward and putting their best foot forward for you, then we need the dating and sex. You need to understand the dating sexual market. You need to understand that's the market that you're operating in, and you need to know how to get out of it. Get the Good Girl Method, and that's available on the website. Just click on courses, right? So that you can work with me, so we can work together. All right, ladies, I will see you on the app. New videos dropping every day almost, and new videos always dropping in the Future Wives Club, and our master class will be coming up. We have master classes every Sunday, but we have our main master class will be about wife archetypes. What kind of wife do you want to be? What kind of wife do you want to show up as? And genuinely, so that when he sees you, you don't have to convince yourself that this is the type of wife you are. He's going to know, okay, this is the type of wife. Okay, this is the type of union we're going to have. This is the type of family we're going to have. You need some direction with that. You need to know how you show up, because a lot of times we think we're going to show up a certain way and we're actually showing up as a different type. And this is why we're attracting men. They may want marriage, but they are offering the kind of marriages that we don't really want. So we need to also know, how are we communicating what kind of wife we're going to be. And then we're going to talk about what kind of husbands we want. And those are always fun. Every time I do husband archetypes with women, they love that part. And that's coming up soon. So the Future Wives Club is where it's at. We don't play around. This is a safe space for women that want to prepare for marriage. All right, ladies, we're going to get out of here today. Don't forget to download the Feminine Elite Society app, available on Apple and Google. All right, ladies, it's getting warm outside. We're going to have some fun live streams coming up in the future, and I look forward to seeing you ladies. Bless and always lie. Bless and always love you all. Remember, I love you and Jesus Christ loves you. And until the next time, keep the faith, everybody.